Now, the other thing I like to mention is this interpretation of Nama Rupa. Nama Rupa has very often been translated as mind and matter, or mind and body. Now, to me, that seems to be a wrong translation, because there are several suttas that indicate so. Now, in the Samyutta Nikaya, Majjhima and Digha Nikaya, they define what is Nama Rupa. Nama is defined as contact, feeling, perception, thinking and volition. Contact, feeling, perception, thinking, volition. So if you talk about the 5 khandhas, the 5 aggregates, the 5 aggregates are body, feeling, perception, volition and consciousness. Okay? So normally those last 4 things, feeling, perception, volition and consciousness is said to be mind, the mental partner. Okay? Now when you look at Nama, it does not have consciousness, Okay, it does not have consciousness. So if Nama does not have consciousness, how can it be mind? Okay? Now Rupa is defined as the 4 great elements, earth, water, fire, wind, and the materiality derived from them. Actually these 4 great elements, when it's stated earth, water, fire, wind, the Buddha does not mean actually earth, water, fire, wind, What the Buddha means is earth stands for hardness, Hardness is a kind of perception, You feel something hard, you consider that as the earth element. For example, this plastic, because it's hard now, is considered the earth element. This is not the earth, this is plastic, right? So, Patavi means the earth element. Earth, water. Water means the cohesion, the property of cohesion, Because water tends to bring things together. For example, our body, because it contains water, we have a certain form, But if you take away all that water, this body will crumble, It cannot stand up, It cannot come together, Water has got the property of cohesion. Earth, water, fire. Fire is heat, Heat or cold. Cold is absence of heat. Earth, water, fire, wind. Wind is motion. So these are behaviors, Behaviors, these 4 things. Now, Nama Rupa, it is stated in the Samyutta Nikaya. Consciousness or Vijnana and Nama Rupa arise and cease together. And then the Buddha gave a simile, Nama Rupa and consciousness, these 2 things arise and cease together. They are like 2 bundles of reeds, 2 bundles of reeds which are tied together. Each bundle is tied. And these 2 bundles of reeds are standing, supporting each other, They are leaning on each other, okay? They are leaning on each other. So they stand together and they fall together. If you pull one away, the other one, if you make one fall, the other one also will fall. Right? And they stand only supporting each other. When you see this, actually, Nama Rupa means what, Nama Rupa means phenomena, Phenomena that is presented to consciousness. Because the moment consciousness arises, you must be conscious of something, yes or not? If you cannot be conscious of something, you cannot have consciousness. Consciousness only means conscious of something, right? So that something that is presented to consciousness, in other words, phenomena, the totality of phenomena that is presented to consciousness, that actually is Nama Rupa. And that has 2 aspects. The 2 aspects is a mental aspect and there is a material aspect. That's why actually Nama Rupa should be defined as mentality and materiality. These are the 2 aspects that impinge on consciousness, that impinge on Vijnana. Now, I'll give you some other suttas, why I say this. In Samyutta Nikaya, there's another sutta that says, there is just this body and Nama Rupa outside, without. In the sutta, in the translation, they put Nama Rupa without. And within is the body, and without is Nama Rupa, giving rise to contact and the six sense bases. You see? In other words, Nama Rupa does not include body, Because here this sutta is mentioning there is this body inside and Nama Rupa outside. So how can Nama Rupa mean body and mind? Right? Now there's another sutta that says, by the arising of Nama Rupa comes the arising of mind. And by the ceasing of Nama Rupa comes the ceasing of mind. That means Nama Rupa is connected to mind, If you say Nama Rupa is mind and body, then you must say, with the arising of Nama is the arising of mind. With the ceasing of Nama is the ceasing of mind. But this is not stated. It is stated with the arising of Nama Rupa is the arising of mind. Not the arising of Nama, Arising of Nama Rupa is the arising of mind. Ceasing of Nama Rupa is the ceasing of mind. And then another sutta, Anguttara Nikaya, is stated, the basis of Sankappa Vitaka, which is translated as purposive thoughts, is Nama Rupa. So the basis of thinking, the basis of thoughts, is Nama Rupa. It's not Nama, If Nama is mind, then you must say, the basis of purposive thoughts, is Nama. But here it says the basis of purposive thoughts is Nama Rupa. So from here, if you come to the conclusion that Nama Rupa means mentality and materiality, that means the totality of phenomena that is presented to consciousness, then you have a completely different outlook from what is now being taught. What is now being taught is that the world consists of mind and matter. Everything is mind and matter. Because when you say everything is mind and matter, that means mind and matter are separate, But when you say Nama Rupa is mentality and materiality, what is it presented to consciousness, then you slowly realize, as confirmed in two other sutta, that the world actually exists in our mind. You see? When you say that Nama Rupa is mentality and materiality, that means even our body is inside our mind. You see? How do we perceive our body? You see, to a normal person, the mind is inside here, The mind is inside here, the body is outside, the world is outside. But when you have an understanding of the Dhamma, then you realize even the perception of the body is through these six sense organs. Through seeing our body, through hearing, smelling, taste, touch. And so when you realize that the whole world is inside our mind, then you realize that the world is not real. It's like a dream. Whereas the other one, if you say that everything is Nama Rupa, then to you, the real world is very real, And you are trying to escape from the world, trying to gain liberation, to enter Nibbana. It's like escape from the world. Whereas that's not the real picture. You see? In the Anguttara Nikaya and the Samyutta Nikaya, there's a sutta called Rohitassa Sutta. And there, the Buddha said, in this fathom-long body is the world, the arising of the world, the ceasing of the world, and the way to the ceasing of the world. Everything is inside this body, meaning everything is inside the mind. The whole world is inside the mind. Then there's another sutta in the Digha Nikaya where the Buddha said, one disciple came to ask the Buddha, he said, where do the four elements, earth, water, fire, wind, where do they not arise? Where is there no suffering, no birth, aging, dying? So the Buddha said, you asked the question wrongly already. You should not ask this way. The Buddha said, you should have asked, where do the four great elements have no footing to arise. Then the Buddha said, the four great elements, in other words, the world, has no footing to arise, no support to arise, when consciousness ceases, when consciousness stops, There is no long or tall, long or short, there is no big or small, there is no Nama Rupa, the consciousness ceases altogether. But although consciousness ceases, then the Buddha said, consciousness is like non-active, non-manifestative, but consciousness is still bright and boundless, So Nibbana is a state where the consciousness is bright and boundless, but it has stopped working. It is no more active. Is stopped manifesting anything for you to see, to hear, etc. That is a state of Nibbana. So when we go back to Nibbana, actually we are not running away from reality. We are going back to reality. Only this world is not real.